Hello Voyagers, long time since my last video. Little update, it's the end of August, just back from London for my fifth fifth voyage show, seated, Zone F this time. I took my little niece from Spain, she's 21, with me. So we flew up and we stayed with my cousin Belinda, who went in July with me and Jorgi. You might have seen the video when we met up with the producers of Voyage-August. Anyway, so we stayed one day extra before the show, and then we went from her house to the Gantry hotel next to the Stratford Hotel where ABBA stayed. And what I decided to do was, this time, because we were there for a bit various hours before, is we went along from the Gantry on the 28th of August. Our show was in the evening. I said to Elena, my cousin, my niece, let's go and watch the people arrive for the 1500 show, for the early show, because I've never sort of seen the buzz and everything. So, you know, we got the DLR, and the DLR station and everything. People are starting to arrive, you know, at Stratford for the one stop to Pudding Mill Lane. And I mean, just to watch people's clothes, you know, dress stuff and everything. And Elena, I mean, Elena's a fan. She actually fell in love with ABBA during the Dance Your Pain Away period. You know, she fell in love with that song because I played it at my wedding, at my party. And so she's been a fan and everything. So she was like, it was only her second time ever in the UK. And watching the people arrive at the DLR to take that one stop, you know, to Pudding Mill, was just such fun. And the range of people. It's not just my age, there's all ages. There's mums and dads with kids, there's youngsters, you know, 18-year-olds. It's brilliant to see. And so we got the DLR and we got off at Pudding Mill, and then of course, you know, you see the arena and everything. It's just like, you know, what they built this all special. Yeah. Anyway, because we arrived with the people going for the 1500 show, we sort of buzzed around, you know, where the rocks are outside, and there's some seating. There's my dog, Frida. We sat there and we just watched people filing in into the afternoon show, and the Snooze Box, which is this container hotel, is just opposite the arena. That emptied out. And everybody went into the arena for the 3 o'clock show, and we thought, well, it must be started up, but you can't really hear much. It's quite well soundproofed from outside. So we sat outside for a little while chatting, met up with Carolina from ABBA Access out there as well, just chatting about this and that and everything. And I did a live stream on her Instagram or whatever. I'm not sure of all the technical stuff. Then we thought, well, while the concert's going on, it was like a ghost town outside. Everybody was inside, so we went into the Snooze Box and had some drinks and something to eat and everything. We just chatted for the hour and a half that the show was going on. Then so then when we thought that, you know, there must be the last song roughly about now, we went back out to the empty area outside the arena to wait for the people to come out. We sat on the wooden seats, the park benches, just outside, and they started to come out. There are three categories of people that come out from there. They're the zombies that are like completely, what on earth just happened? They're the people with tears, crying as they come out, the red eyes. And then there's people that are just like excitedly saying, did you see that bit? Did you see that bit? What about that bit? So you can overhear the conversation, which was really interesting to sort of gauge. You know, it's just you know, there's definitely zombie, just like, what did I just see? There's the people that have come out in with tears. Some people were still crying as they left, which was really wow. And then there's like the people that are so excited, you know, comparing notes as to what they saw. What did you remember? See that bit? Did you see that bit? Oh my god! Oh my god! Anyway, there was a chap. I'm so sad that I didn't catch his name. There was a chap that had been inside at the 3 o'clock show. So if you're watching, please message me or whatever, because I'm sorry that I didn't catch your name. But he'd obviously been inside, and he was very, very emotional. You could see that he'd been crying during the whole concert. And then he spotted me sitting on the park bench. And then he came over and he says, "Are you Diego from the videos?" And I said, "Yes." And he started again. He started to cry and cry. And then I started as well. And I said, "It's okay. It's okay." So if you're watching, please say it was me. I didn't know what to do. I was just like, I can understand your reaction and everything. To have such a long team. It was the same age as me, roughly. And it was such an emotional thing, and Carolina and Elena were like, "Oh my God," the way that people are affected by this show. So that was, for me, that was just a moment. But I thought, cool. So so then people started to file. So got him back together again. Said, "You can't. It's okay. It's okay to cry and be emotional." So he went off. So if you're watching the video, please say it's me, and or contact me. It's just a strange, surreal moment. And then it's just the joy and fun of people coming out. So then it was our turn, and then a little bit before that, my friend Lisa had come down from Skegness, and she brought her husband, her long-suffering husband. He actually hadn't seen the show until that evening, so he was going to go for the first time, and Elena was going to go for the first time, my niece. So I was in zone F and they were in zone G up. That was their first time seated, so that would also be quite interesting to hear. But I wanted to hear after the show the reaction from Elena, my niece, and Lisa's husband, and to see what they thought, because we knew what was coming. But anyway, we went in. We had a glass of Prosecco beforehand and all that sort of stuff. And then we went out, and Carolina was on the dance floor for her 11th show. 11! I mean, I'm five shows in, but Carolina from ABBA Access was 11. And then the next day she was doing her 12th. Ugh, mad, but brilliant. Anyway, so we went in, we had some Prosecco in the middle and chatting, and then we went our separate ways, so obviously Zone F and Zone G and dance floor. And then did the show and everything. I mean, I watched, because I knew what was coming, so I'm not going to give spoiler, the first appearance of ABBA on the stage. And I just watched Elena, and she's just like, what? Unbelievable. So the show went by and everything, people jumping around, laughing and crying and dancing and everything, the usual. And then when we exited, we all met up again in the middle bar where they do the drinks and that. And then we went to the Snooze Box for a little drink just to see what their reaction was. And Lisa's husband said, "I've seen Queen, I've seen this group, I've seen that group, but this was the best." So and he's seen a lot of festivals and concerts and that. So for someone and he's not like a mad die-hard fan, but he goes along because his wife is a fan, a bit like my husband has to do. But that was really. And then while we were outside there, this news came through, and it was mainly the Sun newspaper in the UK reporting that Voyage has been extended by another year. So that calculation is to 2026. I've not seen any official stuff yet saying that that's true, but a source said that they're extending it by a year. So I'm looking at maybe going again, get as many people together to have like a mini reunion, maybe sort of close to the anniversary of the first show. Because I've noticed the 2 dates around the first show this year, next year, are blocked off. Something, I don't know. So I was looking at the 25th. Maybe 25th of May to maybe go again, but I don't know what to do. It's quite pricey because I did find some good seats. The thing about the good seats in the back, people saying, "Oh, you've done, the Zone H. Zone H is the best." The best seats are anywhere, because I've been now 5 times. I've been dance floor, Zone H, over over to the right slightly as you look at the stage. And I've also been quite extreme left in zone F. Doesn't matter, because you still get the 3D effect, even if you're slightly over here. So because you know, I mean, a lot of you know how it's done, but a lot of you don't know how it's done. It doesn't matter, because you still get the 3D effect. And also, if you're in a slightly different angle, you're then watching the stuff over the other side a little bit more than usual, but that's good because you can see all the 360 effect going around behind you. So the thing about, you know, best seats, well, depends, but I mean, you do get the 3D effect regardless of where you're sitting. Doesn't matter. And if you're sitting slightly up, which is what Lisa and her husband were doing, she said that it was nice to sit down because you see something different every time you go. So if you haven't booked, you know, you've got lots more time now, because apparently it's on until the 26th, and people saying where it might go next, I don't know. People say Vegas, I'm not sure. I would plump for Berlin, purely because the German fans really kept that album buoyant for a very long time, more so than the UK fans, but the UK charts, you know how I feel about that now. And that's about it. So no, just a little update about the extension of Voyage going. It's not official. I mean, it's just a source at the Sun said, and then all the other newspapers sort of copied the news. Got this in the merchandise shop as well. Merchandise is slightly updated, and they're still selling the orange vinyl there. It's on display, and also all the picture discs are on display there as well, which they've added, so you can buy the picture discs, actually, not the coloured ones from 2020. I think that box set, the limited edition, I think that's finished now, but you can get the picture discs, and I think you might, I'm not sure about the normal black vinyls, but you can also get records now at the merchandise shop there. And if you don't want to queue up to, the queues have been sorted because they opened up an extra merchandise shop in the cloakroom B. So as you go in, you can either go to the larger merch shop, or you can go to the right, where closer to the toilets. There's a zone B that used to be cloakroom, because it's summer, there's no coats. They've opened a slightly smaller version of what you get on the left, so there's no queue for the merchandise as well. And then there's this program, you know, the book that you get. There's one with a sticker with first edition. The first edition stickers, basically it's just the first edition of the book, because they're going to update the book maybe with some fan photos or some fan recollections, or I don't know, I'm not sure. But so it's not that the set list is changing. That I think is still going to remain quite much the same. There's lots of rumours about set list change. Don't know anything about when any of the songs some might be dropped, some might be brought in. Not sure. So don't quote me as to. So the second edition book is just basically an updated booklet. But I know that a lot of people like collecting the stickered books for the program. So the first edition books are sort of still there. I grabbed one from one of the little merch shops that they put outside in the sort of grassy area before you actually walk into the arena. So you can get a t-shirt, mugs, stuff like that. It's a condensed version actually outside the arena before you go in, if you can't wait to buy your merch. But you can also get the merch inside as well. So that's an update for all that. So sort of, because I've got a little group of friends that we talk about this all the time, and now I've done all my crazy Ticketmaster moment last September when I bought these were the last 2 tickets that I bought last September. So I've got no more tickets now for Voyage now until whenever. But I was thinking possibly around about the anniversary of the first show next year might go. Depends on money and everything. I spent a lot of money this year on all things Voyage. Anyway, so if you've got anything to add in the little comments or whatever, and I'll update you with things if there's any other little changes or whatever a little bit later. I love this. I just think it's so. I don't know why it took so long to get this. It's quite hip. That's about it really. So I'll speak to you much later. Bye.